It seems coalition governments are becoming more and more unstable with every passing day. If mayors and councillors are not being axed, parties are putting their own interests and agendas ahead of promises made to the residents who voted for them. Now, the DA is calling for unity among parties in Johannesburg. This comes as the current mayor, Thapelo Ahmad, is possibly facing a motion of no confidence in the near future. DA Gauteng leader Solly Msimanga joins me now to discuss this further. Solly, good afternoon. Thank you very much for your time and your patience. Before we got hide of you, we had a couple of other stories to do. But on this matter of Johannesburg and the coalitions, and we've seen there's reports now of yet another possible motion of no confidence against the mayor. It's like toing and froing. What is DA's position in Joburg?
Well, thank you very much, Braden, and good afternoon to the viewers at home. We've made our point very, very clear that we are not about to jump into another coalition in Johannesburg if a number of issues are not ironed out. One is that before we even talk about who gets to be the mayor, who gets to occupy MMC positions, we need to agree in terms of what is it that we want to then achieve. The second part is that we also want to make sure that we will coalesce with people that will be able to stand and stay the duration, of this particular term. You correctly pointed out that the people of Johannesburg, are at the receiving end of bad coalitions, are at the receiving end of unstable government, and also of parties that are putting their interests first. And this is why we had said upfront that we will not go into coalitions just for the sake of going into coalitions, but we will go into this coalition because there will be a number of things that we would have agreed upon. First of all, we want to then stabilize the finances of Johannesburg. We want to then ensure that there are certain priorities that are going to be put forward and agreed upon. We will then look in terms of who will then be able to then do that work. But, as well, Brandon, one of the things that we are saying is a complete, a break or make or break is the fact that we want a partnership that will, survive until the end of this particular term. So this is what we are putting forward as the Democratic Alliance.
You want to put together a coalition, a partnership, as you say, that might last longer than what we've been seeing currently. So who is the DA talking to in Johannesburg?
Well, we have started talking to the parties that we had been engaging with. I know that there's been, a call to engage with the Patriotic Alliance, this coming from the other parties. And we have our own, doubts in terms of whether we will be able to then trust the Patriotic Alliance, given the fact that there's very 2 times that we have had them as partners, it had somehow not been stable. And, they have been jumping from one area to another between the DA coalition and also the ANC-EFF coalition. And when they get there, it's like it's a jostling for positions. And it's not sustainable for, a good governance. It's not sustainable for ensuring that we're able to then have a stable government going forward. So we want to then ensure that whoever we will be engaging with, as I said earlier on, Braden, needs to ensure that they are there for the long run, and also they need to not only be there to jostle for positions. And this is why I said to you right at the beginning that part of what we want to then achieve is an understanding of what is it that we want to achieve before then saying we will go and form part of this particular government.
Yeah, Solly, it's well and good to say you want to focus on what must be done. You want to focus on a plan of action. But we've seen a lot of horse trading and lots of noise around who's the councillor and MMC for what, who's going to be the mayor, who's going to be the speaker. If it's the speaker's facing a motion of no confidence, then it's not, it's the mayor. How confident are you that yourselves as the DA and whoever else you're trying to form this partnership with in Johannesburg will actually focus on what really matters, the delivery of services to the residents of the City of Gold?
Well, this is why, Braden, I said to you right in the beginning that our focus should never be about positions, at the genesis. Our focuses should be what is it that we want to then achieve? How are we going to achieve that? Once we can agree on that, and then we can then look within our ranks and say,
yeah, I hear you. Yeah, sorry, I hear you, but I'm asking how confident are you that you'll succeed in this?
Well, but then I can tell you right now, the DA is not going to be desperate to get into any kind of coalition if it's going to mean that, the main point of contention will be positions. We believe that we want to serve we want to serve the residents of Johannesburg. Whether we do it in government and a stable government, that will be priority, and that will be, victory number one. Whether we don't get to do it being part of government that we're doing it from an opposition perspective, we'll still be able to then do that. We have been doing it for a number of years by holding government to account. And this is why I am saying to you that, we will go into this coalition. We will not really put, the issues of positions first. We'll put the issues that needs to be driven first, and then decide who will be best suited to then deal with, the program of action that we're putting forward.
Thank you very much for your time this afternoon on Today on eNCA. Solly Msimanga of the DA just telling us how they're approaching the whole coalition arrangements now in Johannesburg. We'll have to wait and see if they are successful.